The gavel falls like a gunshot, sharp, final, unquestioned. In most courtrooms, that sound means justice has spoken. In this one, it means the system has moved on. No hesitation, no reflection, just another life processed. In Judge Caldwell's courtroom, sentences don't linger. They land, fast, heavy, permanent. The defendant barely looks old enough to shave. His public defender gathers papers, already knowing none of them matter anymore. And from the clerk's desk, Emma Lerner watches. Not shocked, just unsettled. Because this wasn't unusual, and that's what bothered her most. Behind the courtroom doors, justice changes shape. Out there, it wears robes and speaks in rulings. In chambers, it's quieter, polished wood, leather chairs, walls lined with law books that smell like authority. Judge Caldwell stands at the window like a monument carved from discipline, order, structure, control. He doesn't shout, he doesn't threaten, he doesn't need to. When he asks for a file to be misplaced, the word lands softly, but it bends the law all the same. Emma feels it, the shift, the moment where procedure becomes intention, where justice stops being blind and starts choosing. Caldwell calls it maintaining the machine, a system too delicate to disrupt. He speaks like an architect. Emma hears something else, a man deciding which parts of justice are allowed to exist. There are places in every institution where things go to be forgotten. No spotlight, no digital trail anyone checks twice, just shelves, dust, silence. Emma holds the Henderson file. It feels heavier now, not because of the paper, because of the choice. A small move, a quiet adjustment, one file, one shelf, one decision that no one will ever notice, except the man whose appeal disappears with it. Justice doesn't always collapse loudly. Sometimes it erodes in filing cabinets. Patterns don't shout, they whisper to the people who are paying attention. Sentence lengths, prosecutors' names, which attorneys leave smiling and which leave defeated before trial even starts. Sam jokes about it, calls it the Caldwell trifecta. Humor is safer than accusation, but Emma hears something under the joke: familiarity. This isn't rumor, it's routine. And then Sam says the word that sticks: a list. Not metaphorical, a real one. Emma doesn't know it yet, but she's already seen it. The truth rarely arrives like lightning. It comes like insomnia, a quiet apartment, a glowing screen, a question that won't turn off. Emma isn't trying to expose anything. She's trying to prove to herself that what she feels isn't real. But the numbers don't cooperate. Case after case, same prosecutor, same judge, same outcomes. And then the donations, events, fundraisers, professional networks. Suddenly, the pattern isn't abstract. It has direction and motive. Emma stares at the screen. This isn't bias, it's design. The drawer opens too easily. That's what scares her most. No dramatic lock, no security system, just access, like the system assumes no one would dare look. The black ledger doesn't look dangerous, it looks ordinary. That's the horror. Names on the left, favors on the right, cases reduced to instructions. Max, deny, expedite. Justice reduced to transactions. Emma doesn't feel brave. She feels sick, because this isn't suspicion anymore. It's handwriting, and now it's on her phone. Irreversible. Truth feels different once it leaves your hands. Emma sits across from an investigative reporter, and the world suddenly feels exposed. Open sky, people walking past, normal life continuing, unaware that something fragile has already broken. The thumb drive between them is small, too small to carry the weight it holds. Exposing corruption doesn't feel like victory. It feels like stepping off a cliff and hoping the ground still exists. Emma's life has already split into two timelines, before this moment and everything after. The days that follow are the loudest silence she has ever lived through. No knock on the door, no confrontation, no explosion. Just normal life pretending nothing has changed. But everything has. Every hallway feels like it's watching her. Every glance feels loaded. This is the psychological weight of truth. You carry knowledge that others don't and can't unknow. Power never believes it can end. It believes in continuity, permanence, legacy. So when a bailiff leans in and whispers into Judge Caldwell's ear, the shock isn't loud, it's internal. His face doesn't crumble, it drains, because this isn't supposed to happen to people like him. He built the architecture. He thought he understood the system. But systems protect themselves, not the people inside them. When Caldwell sees Emma, his expression isn't rage, it's disappointment, as if she broke an unspoken code. To him, she didn't expose corruption, she betrayed order. And in his mind, order is sacred, more sacred than fairness, more sacred than truth, more sacred than individual lives. Evidence proves actions, but the law also seeks intent. Intent lives in words. The investigators don't want paperwork, they want belief. Because people like Caldwell don't see themselves as criminals, they see themselves as guardians, and guardians always want to be understood. The office feels hollow now. No authority, no presence, just space where power used to sit. Caldwell speaks calmly, clearly, like he's delivering a lecture. This wasn't bribery, he says. It was strategy, predictable outcomes in exchange for influence. Influence that would build programs, jobs, reform. He doesn't see victims, he sees variables. Henderson wasn't a man, he was a cost. Emma listens, because this is the real crime. When intelligence divorces empathy, cruelty starts to sound reasonable. A recorder's red light blinks quietly, a small mechanical heartbeat. It captures not just confession, but philosophy, the belief that sacrificing individuals is justified if the system benefits. History is full of people who believed that. History remembers them the same way. The courthouse still stands. The marble doesn't crack. The flag still waves. Institutions rarely collapse visibly. They absorb scandal, continue, but something invisible has shifted. The illusion of purity is gone, and once people see the wiring behind the walls, they never see the building the same way. On a news screen, a mother holds a photo of her son. She doesn't speak about systems. She speaks about his laugh, his habits, the way he hated mornings. That's what corruption erases. Systems think in outcomes. Humans live in moments. Emma leaves the courthouse, not triumphant, not relieved, just changed. Truth doesn't make heroes, it makes witnesses. She didn't destroy the system, she removed the lie that it was neutral, and now she walks into a world that is messier but more honest. Justice isn't architecture. It's not a machine to optimize. It's fragile, human, imperfect. The moment we treat people like pieces on a board, we stop practicing justice and start managing outcomes.